Wait, then where is it? Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Can anyone hear me? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Can anyone hear me? Okay. Okay. Awesome. 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 Right. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Can anyone see my screen? My screen is freeze, right? Okay. 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 I think you okay. So you guys can see my screen now. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, we can see it. No, sir. Okay. You're a bit breaking. Right. Is it from my end? Okay, sorry, guys. Just need to. Okay. Okay, just a minute then. Just a minute. Just a minute. Right. Okay. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Now, so any updates? Is my screen visible now? Can anyone hear me? And is my screen visible? Can anyone hear me? Is my screen visible now? Right. Okay, my screen is visible. Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Apologies on the on that delay. Right. My system just hung, and then I have to quickly restart the system. Right. No. So apologies on that. So good evening, everyone. Welcomes to the second week of SQL for data analysis. I believe by now everybody is adapting to the changes, right? You guys are now coding, writing your SQL query, creating your database, creating table, insert into table, update, delete, all those SQL self accounted to the SQL life, right? I've been seeing some of you guys update on LinkedIn. Some of you guys are doing well. And some of you that have been posting on LinkedIn, right? You can see the comment that people have been commenting. People have been encouraging, keep learning, well done, good work, different kind of encouragement. So that's how data analysis, that's how it is, right? The little you do, share it on social media, let people comment. I think there's one of you guys that posted on LinkedIn, and there's one guy that also commented, right? I actually checked, yeah, he's a senior person when it comes to data, right? And I like the kind of the comment he gave to that person, right? So you guys should keep on the good work, keep learning, don't relent, right? It might be tedious from the beginning. In the beginning, it might be tedious, but as you get yourself acquainted with it, practice on a daily basis, at least dedicate number of hours on a daily basis to your work, right? You just get yourself familiar with SQL, right? With just get yourself familiar with SQL, right? And some of you that have been reaching out, someone say give us assignments to work with. Yeah, definitely you guys will get that, right? So some of you that have been reaching out to me, right? Yeah. Even yesterday that was actually a public holiday, some of you guys still reach out to me, which still look for time to attend to you guys, right? So please, let's continue. So this week is another week, the second week of for SQL data analysis, right? SQL for data analysis. So this week, our business for this week is to look at SQL clauses, right? SQL clauses. So that's going to be our focus, right, for this week, right? So let's go back to the okay. So for the second week of SQL for data analysis, we'll be looking at structure query continue, but basically now we'll be looking at SQL operators and clauses. SQL operators and clauses. So that's what we'll be looking at this week. So we'll be looking at SQL aggregation part 1, where we'll be talking about where, order by, group by, halving, and top. I think we've talked about where, and we'll also talk about top, right? Then we're also looking at the SQL operator like and, or, between, not between, in, not in, right? Then we're also looking at the union versus union all, intersect, right? White card. Then we're also looking at SQL join, right? Looking at the different type of join in SQL, talking about inner join, outer join, right join, left join, and probably full join. So basically, we'll be looking at how you can join two tables together, how three tables can also be joined together, right? So we've created three tables, right? We've created employee table, payment table, then salary table. So we'll be looking at how these three tables can be joined together to make a one table, or how the two tables can be joined together to make one table. Then also looking at a union or, right? Maybe you have a two tables that need to be union or together, right? So these are the things that we'll be looking at in the course of this week, right? So, and I believe I don't want you guys to relent. So let's continue. So I'm going to quickly walk you through what are SQL clauses, right? I want to quickly walk you guys through what are SQL clauses, then different type of SQL clauses. So SQL clauses are essential component of SQL. They are essential component of SQL, right? I think last week, some of you guys are asking a question of when we are running some analysis, right? Asking a question. So those questions you guys are asking, I'm going to answer them this week using SQL clauses, right? Now, so SQL clauses define how queries interact with database, how SQL query interact with database. So they are used to specify condition. So basically, SQL clauses are used to specify the condition, modify the data, and control how results are returned. Right. So these are basically what SQL clauses does. Right. Specify the condition, modify data, and control how results are returned. So, and from what you can see on the screen, here is an overview of some of the most common SQL clauses, right? So in the course of this, right, we'll be looking at three SQL clauses, right? Group by, halving, and order by, right? So we'll be looking at these three: group by, halving, and order by. So these are what we'll be looking at in the course of the SQL clauses, right? So the first one there is group by clause. So when we say group by, without even looking at the materials we have, without looking at what is on the inside the materials, right? When we say group by, so imagine you are handling some materials. So you now said, okay, those materials in red color, group them together. Those in blue color, group them together. Those in red color, group them together. All right. So it means those in blue color, let them go into one bucket. Those in red color, let them go into another bucket. Then those in green color, let them go into another color. So you are grouping them based on their color, right? You are grouping them based on their what? On their color. So that's what the group by does. That's what it does, right? So let's say, for example, now, in one of the table we've created, let's use salary. I think the salary has a department, right? It has a department. So you can also group staff based on their department. So staff that are from human resources, how many of them? Let's group them into one area, right? Staff from information technology department, staff from accounting department. So you are grouping staff based on their department. Are you guys getting me, right? You can also group staffs based on their level, right? In every organization, there is junior staff, senior staff, then maybe executive directors, right? The top management. You can also group that the junior staff in one building, then in one table, then senior staff in one table, then executive staff in one table. So these are the things that group by does in database. So it helps you to group data according, right? So is it group by statement used to arrange identical data into groups, right? Used to arrange identical data into group. So that's what group by does, right? Now, then so group by statement is used with SQL select statement. So it's actually used, it's not a standalone SQL command or SQL clause. It's not a standalone. It's used in with SQL statement like a select. So you use them together like a select. Then group by statement follows where clause, right? Follow where clause in a select statement. I believe some of you guys might have gone through these materials, right? Then group by statement is used with aggregation functions. It is used with aggregation functions like count, maximum, or minimum, right? Minimum. Now, then let's look at another SQL clause like halving, right? Halving clause. So halving clause is used, right? Halving clause is used to specify a search condition for a group or aggregate. So halving, right? So that's what halving does, right? Okay. Okay, sorry about that, right? So that halving clause is used to specify a search condition, right? So let's say, for example, now we've already grouped, right? Let's say on staff in HR department, there are 6. Staff in HR department, there are 6, right? Then staff in accounting department, there are 5. Then staff in the human resources, they are, let's say, 4, right? So you've already grouped them, but you want to limit the number of output you want to see. You want to limit the number of outputs you want to see, right? So you can set having, let's say, count of staff greater than having, right? Having, then count of staff, right? Greater than 3. So it means the output it shouldn't return all the numbers. Oh, any department where staff is greater than 3, greater than or equals to 3. That is what the output I want to see. So I want to see a department whereby their staff is we have three or more staff in that department, right? So I think when we started writing the query, you guys will understand better. But let me just explain it, right? So that's what having does for you. So he said having clause is used to specify a search condition for a group or aggregate. For a group or for aggregate. So having is a clause in a group by clause. If you are not using group by clause, then you can use having function like where clause. So you can just use it to limit the number of output. Then what is order by? Order by is just simple. Order by is just to arrange your output either in ascending order or descending order, right? That is what order by does for you. It's either ascending order or descending order. Though the default output is always ascending order. So you cannot, if so you want to see it in a reverse position, you cannot say, okay, in a descending order. So that's what order by does, right? Now, we're going to talk about SQL operators, right? We're going to talk about SQL operators. So what's SQL operators? SQL operators are reserved word. They are reserved word or character used primarily in SQL statements where clause to perform operation, right? Such as comparison, arithmetic comparison. So these operators are used to specify condition and SQL statements, right? So SQL operators are like arithmetic operator, comparison, and logical, right? When I send you guys materials, I sent you materials, right? This PowerPoint in PDF. Then there's another one that I call SQL Basic, right? I'm going to switch to that one to quickly run you guys through that, right? Let me just a minute. Let me share my screen. Let me look for the materials, right? So let me know once I'm I'm switching to another materials now to quickly run you guys through different SQL operators, right? Let me know if you can see SQL logical operator. Okay, you can see SQL comparison operator, right? Yes, okay, thank you. So please let me quickly run you guys through. Some of you say my man not seen, but let me quickly, you guys have the materials. I sent you to you guys. You guys have it. So, but let me quickly run you guys through, right? So for SQL comparison operator, we have like plus, minus, asterisk, slash, then percentage. So these are the examples of SQL comparison operator, right? So like plus, it adds, plus is just like it add value. It's used to add value to both operand, right? That's what plus does. Then we have minus to subtract the right hand operands from left hand operand, right? That's minus. Then you have star, right? It's used to multiply, right? You want to multiply both operands, both left and right operands. You want to multiply them just like in your mathematical operation, right? You have this uh is it backspace slash right now? So it's used to divide left hand operand by the right hand operand, right? So that's what you do. So you guys have the materials, you can just go through it after the class, right? Then we have this percentage. So it's used to divide left hand operand by the right operand, then and return the remainder. So you want to see it in the decimal places, right? Then we also have SQL arithmetic operators. So this is where we're going to let's focus on this, right? SQL arithmetic operators, right? Equal, right? Not equal, greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to. I believe everybody knows this, right? And how this can be used, right? When something is greater than, okay, can you say where number of staff is greater than 20, right? Where this is less than 20, or where this is between this and this, right? So these are the uh SQL arithmetic operators we used in SQL, right? Okay, then we also have less than or equals to, right? Then let's look at logical operators, right? SQL logical operator. SQL logical operator. Now, for SQL logical operator, we have all, we have and, we have any, we have between, we have in, not, or, exit, and like. And I believe during your Excel class, right? Uh, I believe during your Excel class, you guys talk about hand and haw, right? Hand and haw. And I believe your Heidi will have done justice to hand and haw, right? So we're also going to review, we're going to talk about it in SQL, hand. So when we talk about hand, so it allowed the existence of multiple conditions in an SQL statement. It allowed the existence of multiple conditions in an SQL statement. Then when we talk about or, it combines multiple conditions in what? In SQL statement. Then in, it compare values to that specify the list of value, then not, it reverse the meaning of a logical operators, right? Please, you have the materials, just go through the materials, right? Because of time. Right. So that's just that. So I think we are good. We are good on that, right? So the materials is on Telegram, right? If you guys cannot, I can resend it to admin to forward it to you, to send it to you guys again, right? For those of you that you don't have access to it, maybe you might have missed it, right? It can be resent to you guys. Then let's look at SQL join, right? Let's look at SQL join. Different type of join we have in SQL, right? So when we talk about join, so join means what? To combine two or more tables, two or more table, right? That's what join means. You have two table, you have two table, you want to join them together. Maybe you have one table contain 5 columns, then second table contain maybe 6 columns. From table A contain 5 columns, right? You need 3 columns there, right? Then table B contains 6 columns. Maybe you just need 2 columns. So 2 columns from table A, then 3 columns from table B. You want to join them together to make a table, right? So that's what SQL joins means, right? Now, then different type of joins. We have inner join, right join, left join, outer. See, there are different, but depend on the databases, on the database you are using. Now we are using SQL Server, right? So I think inner join, right join, left join, and full join works with SQL Server database, right? I think Postgres and MySQL works with outer join. I think outer join, right? So we explore this in the course of the class. Now let's look at them one after the other. Let's look at this the picture on the screen, right? That talks about inner join, outer join, left join, right join, and full join, right? I believe some of you we did is this set in mathematics, right? Set in mathematics. I believe you guys still remember set in mathematics, right? So now look at inner join. Look at inner join. Look at the structure on my screen. I want to see. I believe this screen is visible, right? Look at structure. Look at this. Look at it from here now. I think you guys should catch. You should understand what each of these join means, right? If you look at the first one, inner join. So when we talk about inner join, let's look at the definition I provided here, right? Sorry. Let's look at the definition I provided for inner join. So inner join select record that have matching value in both tables as long as the condition is satisfied, right? So from the diagram on the screen, what you can see is that it only match, or let's say a pick record that matches both table, right? Let's say, for example, table A, you have about 10 rows of the data. 10 rows of the data in table A. Table B, you have 15 rows of a data, right? So if you want to join them together, it will only, and you are using inner join, right? It only pick the data in table A that matches the data in table B. Pick it, right? If it is only 5 from both tables, it will return 5 output for you. So that was this table, the inner join is talking about, right? That's what inner join means, right? It pick the values that matches both table, right? That's what inner join does for you, right? Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at the left join, right? Now, left, we have a table. Left join, the SQL of joint return all the values from the left table and the matching value from the right table. So if there is no matching join value, it will return null, right? So that's what left join will do for you. It will pick all the data. So let's say, for example, in table A, you have 10 rows of data. Table B, which is the right table, you have 15 rows of the data. At the end of the day, it will return all the values in table A, right? Then pick only matches value in table B. That's table B. Table B is the right table. It will pick only matchings. So other one that is not match, right? It will return null. You will see null, null. Yeah, this everything here, all this you're going to see it practically by the time I started writing a code. You're going to see it practically, right? I think, but let me just explain for you guys to just have an understanding, right? Then when we're talking about right join, so right join is just like opposite of left join. It's just the opposite. So opposite now means that it will return all the values from the one in the left, in the right, right, and only pick matches value from the one in the left, right? So you only pick that. So that's fine. That's how it works. Then for full join, yeah, you combine everything together. For full join, what we do that is the result of the combination of both left, the result of combination of both left and right outer join, right? So it join tables that have all the records from both tables and puts null on the place of the matches. So anywhere you cannot find, you put null there, right? Okay, let's proceed, right? Now, we also look at SQL aggregation and fine, right? This we've talked about this, right? So we don't need to go back, right? We've already talked about this one in our first week of class: count, sum, average, max, and minimum. If there's any reason for us to touch again, yeah, we look at it, right? So then these are the like simple definition and examples of SQL operators, right? Now let's also look at SQL set operation, right? So SQL set operations allow you to combine the result of two or more select. So we still have a union, all, and intersect, right? The difference between union and union all is that when you want to combine two tables together, and there are duplicates in those tables. So you want to remove those duplicates, then you use union. So union will help you to remove duplicates. Then, but you don't want to remove duplicates. Then you use union all. You use what? Union all, right? So let's see what I have from the materials, right? The SQL union operation is used to combine the result of two or more select query. Yeah. So in a union operation, all the number of data type and column must be the same in both tables of which union operation is being applied, right? Now, when you want to perform union operation, something that is very, very important for you to pay attention to is make sure that both tables have the same number of columns. You can see it from the materials. Both tables must have the same number of columns. You cannot union tables that they don't have the same number of columns together, right? It's not possible. But when that's what differentiates between union and when you are joining tables together. When you are joining 2 or 3 tables together, it is not necessary for those tables to have the same number of columns and number of rows. It is not necessary. In as much they have the primary focus, that is the primary table, the key, the unique identifier that you can use to join them together, right? So, for instance, table A is having 11 columns. Table B is having maybe 6 columns. You can still join them together. It is not necessary. But in the case of union, right, they must have the same number of columns. They must have what? The same number of columns. It is very, very important, right? Table A will have 5 columns. Table B should also have what? 5 columns, right? Then the number of data type, the data type must be the same thing. Must be what? Must be the same thing, right? So please, so before you union together, you need to pay attention to this, right? So in the course of class, we're going to create a table that we will use to union, to perform union operation. Then union all combine the results of 2 or more select queries, but does not remove duplicates. So you can see now, union all does not remove duplicates, means it allows duplicates. But the union operation remove duplicates. Then intersect operation, right? So it's used to combine 2 select statements. So the intersect operation return the common rows from the select statement, right? And also in intersect operation, the number of data type and column too must also be the same thing. So you need to pay attention to that. It has no duplicates. And it arranges the data in ascending order by default. It arranges the data in ascending order by default. So this just right the like a walkthrough to what we'll be doing this week, right? So this is what we'll be doing this week, right? Then I think we are good for that. So we're going to switch to our management studio, right? To practice some queries, right? To write some query based on the walkthrough, based on the presentation, right? So I'm going to switch to my SQL Server Management Studio to write some SQL query, right? So I'm switching now. So let me know once you can see my my SQL Server Management Studio. Someone said this looks like a set in mathematics. I said it, right? If you understand set in mathematics, you understand this. It's going to help you. Okay. Thank you. Right. So some of you now, if some of you that can see my screen, you can see that, because these are the things that some of you guys reach out to me for, that it doesn't look like my own. It's different from your own, right? Which I understand. When you open your SQL Server Management Studio, right? One side is going to look white, It's going to be white, not look like white, right? One side is going to look having this color. Can I call it navy blue, right? Dark navy blue, right? From the way you can see. But now, the moment I click on new query, this dark blue background is going to change. So meaning I'm ready to code. The way it is now, I'm not ready to code. So it's still showing dark blue background. But the moment I'm ready to code, to write my SQL query, right, it's going to change. Let's see. So I click new query. Right. So what did you see? It has changed to white. So meaning I want to write SQL query. I want to write SQL query. Right. Now, another thing that you guys need to pay attention to, based on people that have been calling me, right? Calling me, so once you guys call me, right? And when I listen to, when you say, okay, what is the problem? I created table. I cannot see my table. I created table. I cannot see my table. Right? I've said it over and over in the class. Now, when you create a database, when you click on the SQL, on the new query, what you will see here is master DB. Master. I said it. Please, guys, pay attention. I said master. What you see here is master. Now, the default there is master now. If I create a table now, who can tell me where would the table go to? If I create a table now, where would the table go to? Some of you that are now a professor in SQL, if I create a table now, where would the table go to? It will go to master. Thank you. Right? Thank you. Thank you. Because master is the default and I did not change it. So in case you are not looking for your table, right? Your table is in the master, right? Your table is in what? Is in the master. Go check master. You will see your table there, sitting down there, waiting for you to utilize it, right? Now, so after you click on new query, or after you have created your database, right? Make sure you come back to this place and change it to the database you want to work with. Now we are working with liter_db. That's our database. So I'm going to pick database here. So I've changed this to liter_db. So if I create any table now, automatically it goes to the liter_db. So I don't need to scratch my head. I don't need to be worried. I don't need to disturb any of my colleague or my facilitator to do. So where is my table? I'm looking for my table. Your table is there. Right? Right? So now I've changed it to liter_db. Right? Then another thing I would like you guys to pay attention to now. Let's assume that I didn't change it to liter_db. It's still in master. I've created my table. I'm fine. I want to start writing my query. But that place is still showing master. Now, if I said select, if I write, okay, sorry, let me increase this so that right, if I say select all from, what's that one of the table we created? Employee, Abi. Right? Now, if I run this query, I want to ask, if I run this query now, will I get result or I will get an error? If I run this query number 1 now, will I get output, my result, or I will get an error? It will return an error. 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 Okay? Now, for those of you that doesn't know, let me run it. So you can see it returned an error. Someone said invalid object name, right? So that person is a professor. Is a professor of a SQL, right? So you can see the error message I'm getting. Invalid object name. This what means is that the table I'm calling It's not in master DB because no table has been created under master DB. That Victoria, you are on the point of Gundage, right? Right now, but the moment, okay, who can tell me now? What do I need to do? What will I do? Who can tell me what will I do? Because you are still in master, right? So what will I do now? Change master. Okay, so I will change master to my, okay, switch to liter underscore db, right? Up and thank you. So if I come back, right, to this liter underscore db and I run it again, what can you see? It returned my output, right? So these are the things that you guys need to pay attention to when you want to use this environment, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you. So these are the things that you need to pay attention to now when you are switching between 1 dB, right? So maybe by the time you don't have like six databases, so you need to make sure you switch to, or you pick, or you select the correct database you are working with, so that you won't get this such error. And I believe by now nobody should call me for this kind of error now, right? So be calling me for advanced error, something, all this small error like this. By now you guys should be able to fix it, right? Yeah, thank you. Let's continue, right? Now, so we've talked about SQL clauses, group by, having, order by. Now we've talked about them theoretically. Let's look at it practically. Let's write some SQL query, right, to show them, right? So like I said the group by statement group rows that have the same value into summary rows. It's group rows that what? That have the same what? They have the same values into summary rows. People from Ekiti should go to one bucket. People from Abuja should go to one bucket. People from Bauchi should go to one bucket. People from Accra, Ghana should go to one bucket. You are grouping them based on their, let's say, country of origin or state of origin, right? So that's what group by does, right? Now, let's let me say select. Wow, it's almost 8 o'clock. Let's see. Select, right? Count of staff ID. Staff ID, then close bracket, right? From, so the staff of this, okay. I want to, now what, okay, let me explain the query I want to write for you guys. I want to write a query, right, that's going to show me the number of staff from each state. Number of staff from each state. So I'm going to write select count of staff ID, right? State of origin, right? Then from which table? From employee table, right? From employee table. Now, who can tell me the next thing to write? Who can tell me the next thing to write before we go on break? We'll go on break now, but who can tell me before we go on break? And I said they select count of staff ID, the state of origin from employee. Then what will be the next thing? No, someone is saying where. No, not where. No, group by, right? Yeah. Who's that? Group by Blessing Alabi. Thank you. Group by. Now, group by what? Who can tell me now? Group by what? Group by what? Going forward, you guys will be the one to write the query. Group by what? I'm waiting. Group by state of origin. Who is that? Amuta. Thank you. Amuta, I think I noticed you. Right? Group by state of origin. Group by state of origin. Now, right? So it's going to tell me how many number of stars are from each state. So you can see. You can see. From this output, it's telling me from Abuja, we have 3 staff. From Anambra, we have 1 staff. From Bauchi, we have 2. From Delta, we have 1. From Ekiti, we have 6. From Kano, we have 2. From Lagos, we have 3. So that's what this is what the group by does for you. This is what group by does for you. So okay, let's stop here now. Let's stop here. So we're gonna go for 10 minutes break, right? By 8:10, we come back, right? And we continue there, right? So we're gonna stop there. Then by 8:10, we'll come back, right? Yeah, thank you everyone. Okay. Yeah, I think our break is over. Please, let's come back. Let's continue from where we stopped. Let's come back to the class. Let's come back. If you quickly went to kitchen to take something to drink water, come back. If you are eating, stop what you are eating. Let's come back. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So let's proceed, right? So there's one question I pick. Someone asked me, why do I leave a row or if a gap between my lines of code, right? So from my screen, can you guys see my screen? Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Right. Awesome. Okay. So someone is asking now, if you look at line one, right? If you look at the line one, I I I wrote select all from employee, right? Then I left a space. Then I go to line three. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing, right? Right. If you write everything together like this, it doesn't really make sense and it doesn't sound professional, right? You should make your query readable to whoever that wants to use it or that wants to have the access to the environment or even to yourself, right? Make it readable for yourself, right? If you are coming back next time to continue where you stop, right? So always give a space when you are done with one line of your code. Before you go to the other line of a code, give a space, right? Give a space, right? So that's fine. So let's continue. So before we went on break, right, we're talking about group by. So we want to see the number of staffs from each state, the number of staff from each state, right? So that's prompt us to write SQL query line 4 and 5, where let's say select that's count of staff ID, state of origin from employee, then you group by what? By state of origin. So that gives us the number of staff from each state, right? The number of staff from each state. Someone said it is not grouping. It is not grouping. It's just follow this. It's supposed to group, right? If your table are fine, yeah, it should group, right? Now, let's continue, right? Let's also look at the number of staff per department, right? But before we proceed, I want to put alias here. So I just want to say select count of staff ID as let's say um staff per state, right? Let's call the columns name staff per state. Staff per state, right? So if I'm going to run it now, so I'm going to say staff per state, right? So you can see that this is not orderly arranged, right? We don't know, right? You can see this. So when we get to order by, right, you're going to see it. Go to order it by state, by staff per state. Now, let's try to look at number of staff per department. So I'm going to say select count of staff, right? You then put department, also specify the department. Right, from employee. Okay, so this one is going to take this one from our salary table. I think our salary table has a department. Okay, I think the salary has a department. So we're going to run this analysis using the salary table, right? Then, so group by department, right? So this gives us the number of staff per department. You can see that for accounting department, we have 4 staff. For human resources, we have 3. For information technology, we have 5. For logistics, 3. Then for the sales and marketing department, we have 1. Right. So we are grouping by departments, right? Okay. I think we are good on that, right? So let's proceed. Let's proceed to the halving, right? So this one is grouped by, let me put the comments, right? So that when you guys are practicing at your hand, you understand. So that's grouped by. Now let's talk about halving, right? Halving, right? So like I explained halving, right, during the presentation. So I said the halving clause, the halving SQL clause enable users to filter the results based on the group specified. To filter the results. I want to filter, if you look at the result I'm having here, right, this particular result, I want to filter the result. I want to say, okay, having employee that's having a count of staff that's greater than 1 or 2 or 3, right? So that's what having clause does for you. It said enable users to filter the results based on the groups, right, specified. So the SQL having clause, right, is used with group by. Yeah, you can use it with group by. You use it with what? With group by. So let's explore. Let's look at it practically, right? Select count. Okay, let's just copy the first one we have here. Let's copy this. Copy the query, right, and paste here. Oh, sorry, it didn't copy. Oh, sorry. Go back. Okay. Copy this. Paste, right? Now, then, so halving, right? Halving count of right? Halving count of stars greater than or equals to 3. Let's stop like that. Right? So select count of staff ID as staff per state. Then the reference the particular column you want to group. That's the state of origin. Then from employee, you group it by state of origin. Then having count of, so we want to return a state where we have more than 3, right? So let's run this query and let's see output. So you can see the output now, right? You can see the output. You can see the output. So it's returning only states where their number of staff is greater than or equals to 3, compared to when we run this query here, it gives us all the outputs, right? All the results. But now the management, they are not interested. Let's say, for example, your boss that requested for this is not interested in, is not interested. Maybe that's going to be a resolving, right? He wants to move a staff. Maybe Lagos State is overcrowded, right? Then he wants to move some staff from Lagos to other region. Then you want to see the number of staff per each state, right? Where state is greater than 3. So any state that is having more than 3 staff, then we're going to transfer them to other state that's having 1 or 2. So now your output is now having greater than 3, greater than equals to 3. So that's the essence of this. Are we on the same page? Are we together? So that's the essence of now said return this. So it means Abuja we have 3 staff, Ekiti we have 6, Lagos we have 3. Right, okay, thank you. So we're on the same page. Someone said no. Yes, sir. Okay. Right. Okay, thank you. Now, also let's look at this query 9 and 10. Query 9 and 10, right? I'm going to copy this, right? Copy the query we have here. Right. So I'm going to put this as staff per department. Right. Then, so having count of staff yeah, right. Let's say greater than 2, greater than or equals to 2. You can also use the other one like less than, right? You can also use the one like less than or hard. So now I'm going to run this. Okay, I got this error, incorrect syntax near this keyword as. Who can help me to find where this problem is and tell me? Who can tell me where this problem is and tell me? Incorrect syntax near the keyword as, comma before as, right? Thank you. Comma before as. I just want to know that you guys are paying attention and you guys are following, right? Okay, so I'm going to run it, right? So now this is the output. Now account department we have 4, human resources we have 3, information technology we have 5, then logistic we have 3, right? So that is Alvin, right? That's Alvin. Now, what's the next thing to look at? Let's look at group by. Let's look at group by. Okay. So let's look at group by now. Okay. Oh, sorry, order by. Yeah. What's the name? Stella, you are on point. Order by. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So at times it is good to know if you guys are pay attention. Right. Yeah. Order by. You guys are following now. Yeah. I think I like the spirit. Okay. So order by. Now, so order by, like I said, is just to to sort your results, either in ascending order or descending order. It's just to sort your results either in what? Ascending order or descending order. That is what order by does. Right? That's just it. Ascending or descending. So the default is always ascending. Then if you want it to be in a descending, then you specify. Yeah, you specify. If you want it to be in as descending order, yeah, you specify, right? Now, so I'm going to start from here. I'm going to copy this query 6 and 7, and put it here, right? And put it here. Now, if you look at this query, when I run this query, look at how the star per state, how it's arranged, right? But the state of origin is arranged, is sort in ascending order, right? Is sort. If you look at the state of origin very well, right? Abuja, Anambra, Bauchi, Delta, Ekiti, Kano, Lagos, you can see. But if you look at the star per state, it is not sort either ascending or descending, right? So we want to sort the output. What we are interested in, sorting the star per state either in ascending order or descending order. So now I'll just come and say order by which. So I'm going to sort it by this count of staff ID, right? So right, in descending order. Now, so if I run this query now, who can tell me what will now be the, you can just think in your head, right? Okay, the output will now be what? Is it going to, so in a descending order now, the output will now look like, what's an idea? The output will now be like, we are sorting by, okay, someone said data first, right? Okay, the highest will come first, right? And so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Lagos will be first. In a descending order will going to be from the bigger number, the higher number, to the least number, right? Hey, so that's descending, right? Descending going to be from bigger number to the, here someone said Ekiti, right? Now let's run it so you can see. So Ekiti 6, Lagos and Abuja 3, Bauchi and Kano, right? Bauchi and Kano 2, then Delta and Abra 1. So this is a descending order. This is what? In a descending order. Said from biggest to the smallest, yeah. From biggest to Ekiti will now be first, right? Because it has 6 staff, right? Now, if let's copy the query and paste and change that descending to, let's now change this one to ascending, right? So ascending will now be will now be what? Will now be opposite. So it's going to be from Anambra, Delta, Kano, and so on like that. Aha. So you can now see it will going to be reverse. It's going to reverse. It's going to be 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 6, right? That is just what order by does for you. That's what the order by does for you, right? So there's something called column index, sort by column index, right? Sort by column index. So let's quickly look at it before we continue, right? So I'm going to copy this and paste, right? So we want to sort by column index. Column index, right? Now, if you look at this result, right? Let me run this. Let me run it from here. No, let me run this. Let me run this, right? Right. Now, if you look at this result, right, we have state per star per state. That's first column. Then state of origin, second column, right? Now, I want to sort by column index. Column index is that sorting by a particular column. Sorting by a particular column. But I don't want to mention the column's name. I want to represent the column by number. I want to represent the column by what? By number, right? If you look at the output here is just two columns, right? Two columns, star per state, then state of origin, right? So star per state is number one column, right? Number one column. Then state of origin is number two, right? That's column two. That's represent two, right? First column represents 1. Second column represents 2. Third column represents 3. And so on like that, right? Now, I want to order by first column. I want to order by first column. That's star per state. But I don't want to write star per state. So I just want to represent it by number called 1. So instead of putting count of staff of ID here, I will change it to 1. So meaning I want to sort it by first column. That's star per state. Then I will run it in ascending order, right? So you can see. You can see, right? Right. Now, I want to sort it by second column, which is state of origin. So instead of putting state of origin, I'm going to put 2. Right? Now, this time around, I'm not sorting it by number of star per state. I'm sorting it by state of origin. Right? So here you can see it's sorting it by what? By state. Abuja, Anambra, Bauchi, Delta, right? You know, so I think you can also sort by column index. By column index. I think we are good on that, right? So let's proceed. Someone said I'm confused with what you just did now. Okay, so let's go over it again one more time. Please, who is that? Okay, please pay attention. So I said you can order by column index. You can order by column index, right? And from what you can see on the screen, we have 2 columns from the output. I mean the output, 2 columns. Star per state, state of origin, right? So and I said Star per state means that's the first column, represents 1. State of origin. State of origin. Someone said I'm not clear on this inner join. We are not on inner join now. Who is this person? Oluwashola. Pay attention to what we are doing currently now. When we get to inner join, outer join, you understand. What I just did is just like a presentation, a walkthrough. That's the theory. Let's focus on what we are working on now. Don't be divided, right? Understand this. When we get to join, right? Hey, you are currently on this, right? Unless if you are just coming back since that time, we will write now. So I now said star per state is first column, and meaning first, and it means what? 1. State of origin is second column, represents 2, right? Now I want to order by, and I don't want to write by state star per state or state of origin. I can represent it by column. I want to order by column number, right? My column number. So that's what you have this, right? I don't know if you guys understand, right? So that's what we have. So if I run this now, it's going to sort it by state of origin. But if I change it to 1, you're going to sort the first column. It's going to sort the first column, right? So you can see. And if I change this to descending, right? Okay, so let's proceed, right? I think we are cool on that, right? Now let's talk about operators, less than or greater than. So all this one I'm not going to spend much time on greater than or less than. I'm going to show you how to write it in your SQL query, right? Let's call it comparison slash relational operator, right? Right, then we'll be looking at less than, right? Less than, this is less than, then greater than, right? Right. Can also look at this. This also means not equal. Not equal, right? Right. So let's look at this. So let's write a query. Say select from, let's use salary table, right? So look, this is our salary table, 16 rows, right? Right? And so we want to say, where, right, salary, where salary, right, where salary is equals to this. $934, right? Where salary is equals to this. Now, if I run this query 46 and 47, what will be the output? If I run query 46 and 47, what will be the output? (46 and 47), what will be the output? exact amount, just a table, it only returns a single row. Someone said row 3. Yeah, a single row, a single record, right? Right, a single record. For me, a single record. That's record 3, row 3, right? Now, so I'm going to copy this query again and repeat that the same query, right? And change this one to not equal. Now, query 49 and 50, what will be the output? What will be the output? If I execute query 49 and 50, it will show select all from salary. The first thing you need to know, what does this symbol, this operator, what does it mean? What does this operator means? Right? So all rows except 3, Ngozi, right? You are on point. It's going to return all the rows except that person, because it's not where salary is not equal to this. Where salary is not equal to this, right? Right. So it's going to return 15. So it's going to exclude that person of salary ID 3. Right? Yeah. So I like that. Okay. I think we are good on that. So let's continue. Let's use that the same query and say greater than. Right? Greater than. So if I run this, 52 and 53, select all from salary, where salary is greater than this. What will be the output? Where salary is greater than 150,963. What will be the output? Where salary is greater than this. All others except no. Okay. Yeah, I'm asking a question again. All salary greater than G. Yeah, that's fine. That's Omalara good. Yeah, Omalara good. Good. All salary. So it will return the output or salary that's greater than this. Let's say, for example, the fuel price has increased in Nigeria currently now, right? The fuel price has increased, and the management wants to put something on salary of those, maybe those people that is earning. So you want to know if you are earning above 100,000, you are good. I don't need to touch your salary. People earning below 100,000, let me know their salary. I want to touch their salary. I want to put something on their salary. So now reach out to you. Okay, can I get the record of those that's earning more than above 100,000? So send the result of those that is earning below. So you're going to see people that's earning above this, 11 people, 11 staffs earning above 100,000. So it means only 4 staff is earning below 100,000, right? Only 4 staff that's earning below 100,000. If you copy the code and paste and change the greater to less than, then let's people that's earning below 100,000, right? Now let's see people that's earning below 100,000, right? So you can see, so these are the people that's earning below 100,000. That's they want to touch their salary. They want to put something on their salary because of the hike in the price of the fuel, right? So you can just export this and send it to your boss in Excel. When we get to how to import and export in Excel. Sorry, in SQL, right? I think we are good, right, for this, right? So let's continue. right? Let's look at the range operators. Hope I'm not too fast, right? Let's look at range operators, right? Okay. So let me know if we on the same page. Yes. Okay, we're on the same page, right? So under the range operators, we'll be looking at operators like between and not between, right? We'll be looking at between and not between, right? Between and not between. So when we say between, I can say who is sitting down between Salome and Patience? Who is sitting down between Temitayo and Precious, right? Or I want to describe my house. We are in English class, right? I want to describe my house to Angela, right? I would say my house is between MTN office and Access Bank. Between MTN office and Access Bank. That's my house, right? Now, when we say not between is the opposite, right? Is the opposite. Not between is the what? Is the opposite, right? So I can say my house is what? It's not between MTN and Access Bank. So if you say my house, no, my house is not between MTN and, for those of you that are studying English here, right? Okay. Now let's run some query, right? Let's run some query. Select from salary. Select all from salary, right? And where, right? Where salary is between, salary, don't put is, so between, right? Don't put is, so between 500,000, right? Now, during the presentation, I talk about hand, right? Hand, right? So I'm going to use and operators here too, please. I'm going to use and operator. So where's salary between 500 and 700? So I want to see. Okay, who can tell me the output? Don't let me be too forward. Let me know if you guys are following. If I run this query 62 and 63, what will be the output? What will be the output? Right? If I execute, what will be the output? I want you guys to be thinking now, thinking like data analyst now, right? All rows between these two amounts, all salary between this and this, right? It will return salary between this, right? Okay, salary within, yeah. So it's going to return salary, people that's earning between this number, between this figure. People that's what? That's earning between this figure. That is what we return, right? So let's execute, right? So this is people that's earning between 500 and 700. Only two people as earning between 500 and 700. Only two people, right? Now let's change this to 900. right? And let's run it again. Now we have 5 people, any between 500 and 900. 5 people, any between 500 and 900. Now, the opposite is not between, right? So if I copy the query, right, and change it to where salary not between. So what will be the output now? So it's going to exclude, it's going to what? Exclude these 5 people and return people that's earning less than 500 and people that's earning above 900. That will be the output for this, right? Oluwadamilola, this SQL, and I know it by force. Yes, you will know it by force. It is by force, myself take no am. It is by constant practice. Don't gree. Don't gree for SQL. It is no gree at all. Yeah, don't gree. So it is when you gree for SQL that SQL will overcome you. If it is for you to burn your candle upon candle, no gree, right? But like I said, right, let me remind you guys, please form that group I told you last week. Please form that group. It's very important. You guys will not understand now. It is when you form the group, right, and look for someone that know this thing very well. Make the person like your group leader. Let the person, you guys can create Google Meet. Use Google Meet, maybe 1 hour. Maybe it can be weekend. Let's it be weekend, right? Create 1 hour, you guys, or 2 hours, review what you have done. Today's class, Wednesday, Thursday class, Friday's class. By Saturday, you guys should come together. But it doesn't, some of you are asking who is staying and apart. It's good, right? For physical meeting. But in case physical is not convenient, you can do group, connect via Zoom. I think Zoom can still do 30 minutes, but use Google Meet. Google Meet can still do 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Some of you guys that have connected with, I use Google Meet to connect with you, right? Create that group of 10 or 15, right? You practice all this thing. So that's the best way. Data analysis is about networking. It's about networking, reaching out to people, right? Okay. Now, so when we execute 65 and 66, right? Set where salary not between 500 and 900, right? So it will exclude people earning between 500 and 900. It will return the values, the output for those earning less than 500 and those earning above 700, right? So let's look at it. So you can see in return. So it means well, the first time it's only 5 people, right? So it has excluded the 5 people, right? Returning only 11 people earning below 500 and people earning above 500. So excluding people that's earning between 500 and 900, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that is between, not between, right? Then we look at less than, right? So let's quickly go over what we've done today before we call it a day, right? So today we'll talk about group by, right? And the group by talks about how you can group record of the same value into a group, right? Record of the same value, right? Into a, I think if you go to a shopping mall, right, you see that drinks for the same brand is grouped in one bucket or in one container, or in one track, right? Group of the same product, right? You cannot say they put Coke here and they will still put other product that's not a Coke product, no, right? So that's what group by does, right? Then so the output from this query 5 and 6, sorry, 6 and 7, give us the total number of staff per each state, right? Total number of staff per each state. Then from there, we'll move to halving, right? So halving is to filter. To what? To filter, right? So we have this output, but we want to see states where their staff is what? Is greater than 3. Greater than 3, right? So if you execute this, it gives us that, okay, 3 states having staff greater than or equals to 3, right? Now, from there, we'll move to order by. So order by is sorting either in ascending order or descending order. Sorting either in ascending order or descending order, right? So when you look at the first one here, right, it sorted it in descending order, meaning the highest, the biggest number followed by the least number, right? We're also talking about sort by column index. Sort by column index, where I don't want to sort it by the name, but I want to sort it by the number of that column, right? From there, we'll talk about relational operator, less than, greater than, not equal, or equal, right? Where we run the series of SQL query to show that. Then we also look at the range operators, right? We're talking about between and not between. When you talk about between these two buckets or not between these two buckets, right? So we look at the query 6263 to expatiate what between means, right? You said select from salary, where salary is between 500 and 900. The output of this is to give us staff that is any between 500 and 900, right? Then line 65 and 66 talk about staff that is not any between this range, right? So the output should exclude people that's any between 500 and what? And 900. So it should give us people that's any below 500 and people that's any above 900, right? So this is what we've been able to do today, right? So Thursday's another day, right? We're going to continue with the list operators, talk about the list operators. We're going to talk about logical operators, where we talk about true or false. That's and or, right? Then from there, we'll move to we're going to talk about updates as well too. We're going to talk about updates, right? So yeah, I think we're done for today. Yeah, thank you everyone, right? Thank you everyone, right?